Let's talk a little bit about Doomsday because the Russo brothers, in a recent Collider interview, were talking about working on the movie and how things have leaked before and that they've got plans to make sure nothing leaks. One of them being like no cameras are allowed on set, so no leaked set images, and it's going to be all hush. Everyone's on deep lockdown, as it were, for this movie, which leads me to two thoughts on that. The first one being the only way you can really have absolutely no set photos leak is you have to do everything on stage, soundstage, on green screen.
Which
And
they
we,
said they were gonna do.
I
So
know, and
they are gonna do that more.
I know, and I hate that. I'm sorry, as good as The Mandalorian looks, you can still tell at times that it's fake. You need to go out in the real world every once in a while, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you definitely do. I don't think you're ever going to prevent, because you're right, you can't if you do everything on a sound stage, people are gonna point out the CGI, the variant differences. I get them trying to stop the leaks. I'm surprised though, why don't they use like the Tyrion method from Game of Thrones when he was the hand of the king and he wanted to find out like who would leak shit?
Uh-huh.
So he just told everybody, like everyone got like a different fake story. And as soon as one became known, he's, oh, that's my leak.
Yeah, it's funny because that's actually a real method that companies do use when they think they
Yeah.
have someone leaking information. Yeah.
So they're fighting an ever going battle, I believe, but I totally get it. It sucks when that shit gets spoiled, particularly nowadays when you just log on to YouTube, thumbnails and shit like that ruin stuff. Which don't get me wrong, if you don't want something spoiled, don't go on the internet, but I don't know, still.
The other point I'm trying to make, and the image that we're looking at right here, and this image too, these were already leaked. These are all concept
Yeah.
images for Doomsday that leaked all over the internet, and there was no comments at first, and then they were confirmed to actually be concept art for Doomsday. And now, again, it's concept art. It doesn't necessarily mean the stuff that was revealed is
Mhm.
going to be in the movie. There's a picture of T'Challa that was in, pardon me, that was mixed in. It definitely doesn't look like Chadwick Boseman. It's a different actor. There was the picture of Doom. There's this picture where you see Star Lord with the white Vision, and there's another picture. There's like another picture. It looks like medieval times. Again, it just led to the whole concept of there will be a multiverse in Doomsday, and it'll be brought together like it was in the comics with the Secret Wars. I'm okay with that. There was already a leak. They haven't even started filming yet. I don't even know if they have a finalized script, but the concept art was leaked already. So you can't, unfortunately, I don't, that's my point. I don't think as hard as you're going to try, there are people that think they're going to get either money or famous for leaking stuff. We live in a world full of social media where people want to post stuff and get pictures out there and get likes and get followers. I think it's going to leak either way, unfortunately. And then you got actors like Tom Holland working for you who unfortunately has leaked a lot of information they weren't supposed to. So that is my thoughts on that. Did you see all of those concept images that were leaked?
Yeah, but I'm really trying not to remember them, to be honest with you, because I don't want it to get spoiled. And honestly, I do hope it is just all fake and a part of some mole finding operation. That's
Could
my
be.
hope.
It could be. Could very well be. The other piece of information that recently came out about Doomsday, and I found this interesting to a point, and this is something that Marvel has definitely done before. But Robert Downey Jr. will be writing Doom's backstory for Doomsday.
Yeah.
And this is something that's a common practice, and where it comes from is the actor is performing the role. So what they're going to do is they're going to write up a character bio that of stuff that isn't supplied in the script so that they know where to act from. Do you think though, like, it bothers me a little bit because I feel, as we've said before, if you're going to do the stunt casting, and this is stunt casting, I don't care how much you want to argue with me. You're going to do the stunt casting of bringing in RDJ to play Doctor Doom. You should have a fully fleshed out idea of how that works. If this is an alternate
Mhm.
version of Tony Stark, that should be fully fleshed out. If it's not fully fleshed out and you're gonna let the actor do what they want, it really scares me. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I'm already skeptical of this casting, and I think you have a very good point that them putting this out there, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna write the backstory," like, you don't have this all fucking figured out already? So, yeah, I just when I just saw the name of the article that you sent, I'm just like, so yeah, that I think it looks it gives more fuel to my just waiting on the X-Men fire. I'm gonna have an open mind. We're obviously gonna consume the content and talk about it here on Superhero Speak, but I am very worried, particularly when I match this up with what Bo DeMeo was talking about in his video. It really worries me because again, I do accept this is a different universe. It cannot be an exact carbon copy of Marvel 616 in the comics, and a lot of reasons to be versatile and make different choices, but just to be doing it this laissez-faire, it just no wonder they're losing money. We just know if they planned it out a lot better, like they did with the Infinity Saga, you could see what kind of success it'll have. But it's
So,
just, I don't know. I've really lost a lot of faith in Kevin Feige. I don't think he has as much control and good input as he used to, or maybe he never did, and we just wanted to put him on a pedestal because we did have a good saga
alright,
run.
okay, I did not watch the DeMeo video. What was it he said specifically that makes you worried about this?
Because he was being told by executives to be less of a comic book creator,
Oh, okay.
should create, be less of a comic collector. Put your
Right,
collector brain away. Don't be beholden to the source material. Make something new, make something different. And he refused to do that, which is why X-Men 97 season 1 is a masterpiece basically, because of how much Bo DeMeo gets it and how faithful he is to the idea that was originally introduced in the comics, and how faithful he is to that source material. And he's even not exact, but
right.
it's close enough. You get it. It's a good translation. And just to hear that he's being actively encouraged to move away from that, and that there's not Disney leadership that are searching out those who are going to be more aware and cognizant and close to the source material to make sure that we're capturing those stories that made the whole thing fucking work in the first place. That's just really disappointing to me, and just makes me lose a little bit of hope. Even though I am waiting for the X Men, it's fuck. How much of that are they going to? All this? Are we going to get to the X Men and like Professor X and Marvel Girl are fucking? Like, are we going to get that? Because put your collector brain away. So anywho, that's
Ouch.
what yeah.
Reminds me of a story. Wow. And I really didn't give a lot of thought about it until you just said this. When Disney first took over Marvel, I remember talking to, and I know a lot of people who have and still work for Marvel. So one, names will be remain out of this part of the conversation. However, when I first asked them, a lot of them just basically said, "Oh, they just let us do our thing." No one really says anything. It's the same day to day as it's always been. And then somebody I know did a cover for Marvel, actually two times, did a cover for Marvel. And in the past, this person would tell me they would get maybe one or two notes and he'd make the quick change and then that was it. He actually had covers rejected and had to go through multiple edits before they got accepted. And the funny thing is, these were alt covers, and one was a comic store exclusive thing where it wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't being advertised by Marvel. It wasn't being presented to the whole world. It was just through this one, you could only get it through this one comic store. And yet the brass kept saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." Stuff that like was never an issue before. And and they were just shocked that they had to change it so much. And I mean, I guess I could tell you the one cover is they the a bunch of artists were doing different Deadpool covers, and a couple were, I believe, yeah, it was like a tributes to Stan Lee, and Stan was still alive at the time. And the one is the original cover. Stan is holding Deadpool's head, holding a sword, and his body standing next to him, and Deadpool's saying something about "F you, Stan" or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right away they were like, you couldn't have the language on the cover, which this person knew that wouldn't fly because, yes, it's a cover. That's the first thing people see, and they got to be able to put it on the newsstand. Okay, fine. Then it was, oh, and he was holding the sword up, and there was like blood on it. It's, oh, you can't have that. You can't have that. And then I don't remember what the third exact note was, but like he changed that, and like then it was, oh no, he had, and also he couldn't have him decapitated, you know. So we couldn't show that Stan Lee decapitated someone. So basically,
Yeah.
and it came, and there was a round robin. They said back and forth with Marvel, like they kept having to change it and change it. So finally, the cover is Stan is standing there holding the sword like a cane, and Deadpool's there, and he's like, really, Stan? So like the joke is gone. It doesn't make sense
Yeah.
anymore, and it's just him and Stan Lee standing there, and it was just like, huh? And like this person was a well-known cover artist for Marvel for many years in the early 2000s. So it was just like, has done many covers for them, and all of a sudden it was, nope, can't do that. After Disney took over, which is funny because
Yeah.
he did apparently Stan did see the original at some point and was like, he loved it. He thought it was funny, it was perfect, and nope, he wasn't, but they weren't allowed to use it. So it's it's ridiculous. This is why DC Deceased sold so many books. Thrawn, you have to elaborate on that. So long story short, yeah, I do think there are too many. It's stories that I've heard about DC and Warner Brothers for a long time. It just seemed like there's maybe too many bean counters at
Yeah.
Disney who are afraid of the bottom line. It's going to end up hurting them in the long run. So it's not good. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.